Hey everybody, welcome back, Pro Carry Trucker. I am calling it done on the 2022 box stock group build. I'll reveal it here in a minute. I would go over things that went wrong, but the things that went right will be a whole lot shorter list. Really nothing wrong with the kit. It was an awesome kit. It's just some things I've done that it was the first time doing. First time doing it that way. So I had some foo bars. I'll point those out. So first of all, I am going to go over, and anybody, this group build was put out for the fact of new builders coming into the hobby, seeing that you can build a good model with basic tools. You don't have to get all these expensive airbrushes and all this good stuff, Dremel tools and all this good stuff to build a good model. Keep in mind, I am a new builder. This is only my 5th kit. And like I said, this kit, I did things differently than I had been doing. I still learn on this, but I'm going to go over some tools, what I used, go over basically everything I used on this kit to build this kit. Start out with, I had my sprue cutters, emery board, nail file, whatever you want to call it, and some very cheap files. Basically does the exact same thing as the nail file, but just cheap set of nail files. X-Acto knife. The glue that I choose to use is Loctite Super Glue Gel Control. Seems to work very well for me. It can be found at Walmart, Home Depot, Menards, Dollar General, Dollar Tree. Be found about anywhere. I use some of these cheap clips. And I got these at Harbor Freight. I believe you can find these at Dollar General too. Cheap, very cheap plastic clips. Of course, I used I used paint brushes. I did not use an airbrush, but I did use rattle can. There's my primer I used. The paint color I used, I ran out of. That's a mistake I made, and I used some tweezers. I used some Testors paint. Of course, I got this at Hobby Lobby. I used some acrylic. I used some apple barrel, and I used some folk art. And last but not least, oh, here's another emery board I used. Last but not least, I used Sharpies. So let's get on with the model and see where my mistakes I made was. Mistake 1 was first time using a rattle can. I have never painted with a rattle can before. So that it went okay, but I ran out of paint. And I think that's one reason. Let me move my light here a little bit. That is one reason I got a little heavy in areas. and had runs. I have not filled in orange paint there or on the other side. I may go back and do that. And I did not do the red on the back end or the tail lights. The decals on this were not very good. They did not want to stick at all. Actually, I'll show you when I pop the hood there. I didn't color in the tail lights like I thought about doing, but paint job, I just wish would have came out smoother, but I think I could have did a better job if I wouldn't have ran out of paint. I could have sanded, I would have been able to sand it down, put another coat on it, get a good sand, get a good shine to it. Another mistake I made was I was gluing parts together. Oh, I'll go backtrack here. Ran out of paint, so yeah. A couple pieces there, a little bit different color on the mirrors. Went back and used a different type of paint, but a big mistake I made, other than getting the paint too heavy in places and it running. Then I ran out of paint. I didn't have the extra paint to sand it down and go back over it again. While I was putting parts on, I got glue on my fingers. Well, I went to hold the model and put some parts on, and when I went to remove my hand, I realized I had glue on my hands. So I kind of took off some paint, marred up some paint. Man, that really looks more blue than green. In person, it actually looks green, but it really looks blue on this camera. Headlights, as far as the kit going together, the kit went together very, very, very well. I may actually buy this kit again and redo it. Fog lights, headlights. I did highlight the door handle and door lock. GTX. That was just done with the Testors aluminum and a very fine paintbrush. Interior. I did a video earlier on the supposed to be wood grain. I didn't have, or the paint was actually wood. It's called wood. Did not have any of that, so I just basically made a combination and got best I could. Highlighted the hood pins again with Testors aluminum. Messed up on the hood scoop there. It calls for a black decal there, which it's that decal there. We go like this on there. Or like this on there. But had trouble with the decals. I started sanding the paint off that area so that might stick better. But a couple decals, when I went to put the decal on the breather, let's see if I can pop this open here. Put the decal on the breather there, it did not want to stay at all. I eventually had to add a little bit of glue to the bottom of it same deal with, almost the same deal with the license plate. It did not want to stick. I finally got it to stick, but it took a while. So I decided, you know what? I'm not even going to use a decal for the hood scoop. I'm just going to use black paint. Started to use Sharpie, but I'll use paint. Well, where I sanded the teal off, of course, it left some scratches. I tried getting them filled in. That's something I technically could go back, sand down, add another layer of paint. The Apple Barrel High Gloss is what I used on it. But I'm going to set you down here a second. See if I can get this hood open so it stays open. I may just have to take the hood off if I can. Alright, there we go. I think she's going to stay open there. Engine. There's a distributor I was talking about in an earlier video. They call it to be white, for it to be white. I don't know why, but that's the way I made it. Three deuces. Wiper motor was supposed to go right about there, but this car did not come with any wipers. The tree didn't have wipers on it. The body didn't have the wipers molded into it. The instructions didn't say anything about wipers. So I didn't do those. I was going to. I completely forgot about it until now. I was going to do the battery. I was going to do it in black with red and black posts. But I did not detail the battery like I was going to do. And then the water reservoir, or windshield wiper reservoir. Master cylinder and brake booster. Heater hose. This kit went together very, very well. I think a kit similar to this, or do this kit again, once I learn how to do a paint job, could be one of my better builds. Yeah, I'll get that straightened out here later on. But that is my entry into the 2022 box stock group build. Wing was done with Sharpie. A lot of mistakes on this, a lot of boo-boos, but overall, except for the paint job, I think it's one of my better builds. Yeah, if I could have got the paint job better, I think I would have been ecstatic with this build. But live and learn, and I definitely learned more on this kit. Big thing I learned on this kit was not only does it depend on what type of paint you're using, acrylic or enamel. These are not expensive brushes. These are Walmart brushes. I got these at Walmart. But they're a whole lot better than these type of brushes I got at Walmart. So we'll see what my next build turns out as. But here's my entry to the 2022 box stock group build. Appreciate you watching. We'll catch you all in the next video.